You are managing a project using an adaptive life cycle. The project includes developing a specialized software module that is well understood. Yet, you anticipate potential changes due to evolving project needs. You plan to outsource this module's development. Given the agile nature of your project and the likelihood of changes, what is the most appropriate approach for creating a procurement contract with the vendor? So what we are learning here is the question is giving you mixed signal. At one place it is saying that you have a fairly understood requirement for that module which you want to outsource. At other places it is also giving hint, since we are following adaptive life cycle, there is a possibility of things may get changed in this particular module. So ideally, if I have a right or if I have an option which talks about a fair understanding of some boundaries, something which can limit the vendor's options and make them deliver some kind of commitment on the scope comes out of their work. At the same time, easy process for changing. So these are the two elements I am looking in the question. I may not want to go with a pure change open. I may not want to go with pure fixed scope. I'm looking something which can come in between. Again, our choices are limited by the options given in the question. Let's see where we can find the right option for this. Option A, opt for a fixed price contract to control cost after obtaining approval from stakeholders on the procurement statement of work. So it's a potentially candidate option, but it is taking a little extreme approach where it is saying that I will work on that component statement of work. I will take approval from the stakeholders, and after taking an approval, I will go for fixed price control cost kind of a project for that particular component. Yeah. So possible, yes, but I'm still worried because the question was hinting a lot of places that you want easy change management. Now there is a possible in a fixed price contract also you may have an easy change management process. You can put that into contract, but it is not very clearly coming out in this option. It is not indicating anything about the change control for that part of project work. Yeah, so let's see if we can find a little better one. Option B, choose a time and material contract, including a cap on budget and delivery performance parameters. So this is kind of giving a balanced signal. It is saying that you will go with time and material where there is a flexibility, but you will put some checks and balances related to budget and delivery performance, maybe a scope or some characteristics there. Details are not there. So as of now, I prefer B because it is giving me the balanced approach. Option C, develop a cost plus contract providing flexibility for change. So there were a lot of signals or information in the question which was showing that you have a fairly understood work. Yeah, it is not purely open. So going directly with a cost plus is not a good idea in my understanding, because it is giving flexibility but it is bringing more risk to us, and the question is not showing a very innovative or very challenging situation where you want to rely on vendor intelligence a lot and you want to evolve as you go along. Those kind of things were not very clearly coming out of these particular questions. So I still prefer option B, E here. Option D, avoid outsourcing this work as it could create confusion within the adaptive project framework. There is a possibility, but we can't blanketly say that you are following adaptive, so don't outsource. Yeah, there is a possibility. We need to figure it out. There is a problem. We need to take a help from the vendor. We need to design a trust-based collaborative contract which can help us working with the vendor and be flexible for the changes as well. So just not doing change, not going with the outsourcing may not be a good idea. So option D I can definitely ignore. I'm sure some of you might be still thinking about how do we choose between cost plus and time and material. Cost plus is usually used where you clearly show that the problem is so dynamic that we don't even have a clue, and for us the solution of the problem is very important and we trust the vendor to solve it, and we will pay the money and the other material consumed as per the situation. We can't predict in advance. So it is focusing on more uncertainty and more trust on the vendor's capability alone. Whereas the question is not showing that much amount of volatility. It is saying, yes, there is a fair understanding of scope, but we want to have some flexibility of change. So even if we had an option which says that you can go with a fixed price and you have a flexibility of managing changes, that could have become a candidate option. But here the fixed price was coming up without indicating how to take care of changes, but the time and material was coming with indication of that you can take care of performance and budget as well. That's why we selected the option B. There is no very clear winner here, but we need to choose based on the available option. And that was my purpose when I was designing this question, to help you in identifying that how do we select out of many options looking at the information given in the question alone. So for this question, we go with option B. Now this question was primarily focusing on your task related to plan and manage procurement, and we were again focusing on the topic related to contract types.